Boston called to me, it whispered promises of adventure, of reinvention, a city steeped in history, yet pulsing with a youthful energy. I was young, I was restless, and I was ready to trade the familiar cobblestone streets of Europe for the bustling sidewalks of Boston. I craved the unknown, the chance to write my own story against the backdrop of a city that felt both familiar and exhilaratingly foreign. I had heard tales of Boston's charm, its world-renowned universities, its vibrant art scene, its passionate sports fans, but more than anything, I was drawn to its reputation as a melting pot, a place where cultures collided and intertwined, where dreams were chased and stories were shared. I longed to be a part of that symphony of voices, to add my own verse to the Boston narrative. Stepping off the plane, I was greeted by a cacophony of sound. Accents swirled around me like fall leaves in a New England wind. Irish brogues danced with Italian trills, Indian inflections harmonized with Bostonian drawls. I couldn't understand half of what I was hearing, but it was music to my ears. This was the symphony I had been yearning for. My first apartment was a tiny studio above a noisy Italian bakery. The aroma of freshly baked bread and strong espresso filled my little haven each morning. It wasn't much, but it was mine. My own little slice of Boston, a temporary anchor in a sea of new experiences. Navigating a new city, a new language, a new way of life was a comedy of errors waiting to happen. There were times when I felt utterly lost, adrift in a sea of unfamiliar customs and expressions. Like the time I accidentally ordered a frappe milkshake instead of a coffee frappe, iced coffee, and ended up with a sugar rush that lasted all day. But even in those moments of confusion, there was laughter. The kindness of strangers never ceased to amaze me. People went out of their way to help me. Their patience and good humor, a balm to my anxieties. I learned that laughter was a universal language, a bridge that connected us despite our differences. Boston was a feast for the senses. Every neighborhood offered a different culinary adventure. I could wander from Chinatown with its steaming baskets of dumplings and fragrant teas to Little Italy, where the aroma of garlic and tomatoes hung heavy in the air. Each bite was a passport to a different culture, a delicious reminder of the world's richness and diversity. This cultural immersion wasn't limited to food. I found myself drawn to festivals and events that celebrated the city's diverse heritage. From the vibrant colors of the Chinese New Year parade to the soulful rhythms of the Caribbean Carnival, Boston pulsated with a contagious energy. Section 5, The City of Firsts. A daughter's dawn. Boston embraced me, nurtured me, and eventually it became the birthplace of my daughter. Holding her in my arms amidst the familiar chaos of a city that had become my home was a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. She was my little Bostonian, a testament to the transformative power of embracing new beginnings. Raising my daughter in Boston was an adventure in itself. We explored the city together, from the cobblestone streets of Beacon Hill to the lush, green spaces of the Emerald Necklace. I watched her soak up the city's energy, her laughter echoing through the halls of the Museum of Science, her eyes wide with wonder at the New England Aquarium. Section 6. Finding my voice, one laugh at a time. Boston wasn't just the backdrop of my life, it was a stage where I found my voice. The city's vibrant comedy scene, with its open mics and intimate clubs, became my creative playground. I honed my craft, sharing stories of my immigrant experience, my misadventures in motherhood, and my observations of this wonderful, wacky city. With each joke, each burst of laughter from the audience, I felt my confidence grow. Boston gave me the courage to be vulnerable, to embrace my unique perspective, to share my story with the world. It was here in this city of dreamers and doers that I discovered the power of humor to connect, to heal, to inspire. Section 7. Boston Strong, a city that lifts you up. Boston is a city that knows how to come together to support its own. I witnessed this firsthand during times of both celebration and adversity. The city's unwavering spirit, its resilience in the face of challenges, left an indelible mark on me. From the roar of the crowd at a Red Sox game to the quiet acts of kindness exchanged between strangers on a snowy day, Boston taught me the true meaning of community. It was a city that lifted you up, that embraced you as one of its own, that made you believe in the power of collective hope and resilience. Section 8. Farewell, my love, a bittersweet symphony. After 17 years, the time came for me to return to Europe. Leaving Boston was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It was like saying goodbye to a dear friend, a lover who had challenged me, changed me, and made me who I am today. As my plane took off, I gazed down at the city that had been my home for so long. The Charles River shimmered in the sunlight, the Citgo sign winked farewell, and a wave of emotion washed over me. I was leaving a part of myself behind, but I knew that Boston would forever hold a special place in my heart. Section 9. Echoes of Boston, a heart forever changed. Even though I'm back in Europe, Boston continues to live within me. Its energy, its spirit, its unwavering belief in the power of community, it's all a part of my DNA now. I see echoes of Boston everywhere I go, in the kindness of strangers, in the pursuit of dreams, in the laughter that binds us together. Boston taught me to be brave, to be open, to embrace the unknown with open arms and an open heart. It's a city that will forever hold a special place in my heart, a city that I will always carry with me, a city that I will always call home.